Hello, beautiful people. Hello, my beloved friend Mel.
Hi, Shoshana.
We're having this sweet moment. It's January 2026, and it is a tough time in the United States, as well as many other parts in the world, must be said.
As always.
And we are still focusing on the United States experience, particularly of intersectionality, particularly issues about racism. So I wanted to start off this one today. Usually it's Mel, but I think it's really important. We think it's really important for a white person to introduce it. Because you, Mel, have been having a lot of the experiences of some white people coming to you who have access to you in different ways and saying, I'm really stressed. And I have people in my life that are really stressed. And I'm not really sure what to do. Can you like tell me some creative ways to not be so stressed?
When we get canceled, I just want the audience to remember that Shoshana was the one who did the voice.
Of my own free will, under no duress.
So that when I have to rebuild, my platform will be unbesmirched. God, you even just doing it just in a real, and we're exaggerating, right? Like there's a lot of that's exaggerated, but it brings up exhaustion. It really does. And it's really nice to have a white ally who's also a trained clinical psychologist at high levels with more continuing ed and who works with really catastrophic situations. Because you don't do that to me, which is nice. And even that feels weird, right? Like to be like, you're not doing it to me. Nobody's trying to do bad things to each other, but that unconscious, like, can we do a thing where I can tell you what I hear when people say that and do that?
Oh, please, yes. Let's deconstruct the language first. I love doing that.
Yeah, I really love how well you do it and how you explained in our previous recording how because of your disability, it cuts down on your work time. So you've had to learn to be efficient in a way that most people can really take their time. And language tells you so much. So when I hear that, like, I'm really stressed and people are really stressed because America's a fascist country now, refer to the last video. What I hear is you've been dealing with this your whole life, and I haven't acknowledged that until now, but I would really like you to tell me your secrets about how you get through every day. That's how it sounds. Does that make sense?
That presupposes that they're acknowledging that you've been dealing with it all your life.
Right. That's like an optimistic interpretation.
Yeah. The other interpretation is like, look, you are also, Mel, you're a professional, right?
Right. Yeah.
So people, try, whatever your expertise is, lawyer, doctor, car mechanic, carpenter, whatever, people try it on at parties and get-togethers.
Totally.
Right? They try it on. They gouge a little bit. They're not your friends. Or at least they're not being your friend in that moment.
Yeah.
Right? But especially at times like this, around this issue, it is particularly tasteless.
That's, I think, the better word. Because I was trying to think of, like, am I offended? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is great. Because you guys are watching, actually, Shoshana's superpowers in action with me. Because I can talk about this in casual ways. But different layers are coming up for me as a person of color in this experience. And I have a hard time, like, it doesn't feel like, am I offended? Like I was saying, like sometimes that language, it feels close but not quite there. But there's like embarrassment actually. Where I'm like, are we talking about the same thing? Like, you're stressed? Yeah, of course you're like, it's like I don't even know how to, it kind of in my professionalism even then it stymies me because I'm like, yeah, it's Civil War time, babe. And no, I'm not going to pretend that we've always seen it at this level. And that's the difference. There have been groups of people dealing in the United States, around the world all the time, but in the United States right now, what we're seeing revealed are systems that people have lived under all the time. Those systems are just more oppressive or immediate depending on your the big three, the trifecta of like how quickly you're going to feel the machine so of oppression is really like how dark you are, your socioeconomic status, and we could bring in other variables, but like education is always something, you know, like you, if you're an immigrant, if you're an immigrant who did the right thing and came in and did all the work, you're still fucked up now, right now. It's just people can't cope with the obvious, and on some level it's exhausting and embarrassing a little bit. Like it makes me kind of like want to shrink away, and I don't know what that's totally about. Like I've never explored this consciously with a professional like in this way, but have you heard that before?
This shrinking away, and again, we haven't had this conversation, but this is
Yeah.
unfolding in real time. That shrinking away, I think, has a couple of different components to it, and one of them is revulsion.
Yeah, there's a little disgust for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where I'm like, and yeah, so it's not like I'm offended, and I have to own that because that's something really deep, and I feel it right now. It feels resonant in my being when we said it. That's how you know, guys, when you find the right language, your body will respond. I feel a little upchucky. I feel upchucky a lot these days, but like in this moment, of like, and it is disgust, which is really tough because even a kernel of disgust in a relationship with somebody that you love or care about, or even as a casual friend, is really gnarly to experience.
Right.
Because like, what do you do with that, right?
Well, I have answers for that. I tend to be a little blunt with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is like when people, because it's a form of dumping, right? Whether it's asking, like without permission, asking to educate them, take care of them, unconsented. It
Yeah.
is it is unpaid, unacknowledged emotional labor. And it is acidic to connection. It destroys connection, it destroys intimacy in a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that disgust and the acidity, the way it erodes the connection, is not just about safety. Because I could be like, oh, and I don't feel safe. Like I don't. Everybody's gonna have a different experience with that, and there's a part of that, right, where I'm like, my experience isn't safe. Like my vulnerability isn't gonna be heard properly here. Let's just call that what the safety thing is for me. But I don't respect people after a time to that, like, even on a small level, when I'm like, no, we talk through it and it's okay, but like burping, there's no respect. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Right. So there's anger there too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because then it's like, bleh, get the fuck. Because like, what do you want to do with something that nauseates you? You want to get it away from you as quickly as possible. But it's a really uncomfortable experience when it's somebody that you don't actually feel that way all the time. And there's this thing that's coming up now where you're like, and it's like, it's almost like a blast. It's like there's a shock a little bit to it too. You know what I mean? There's like all these
Exactly.
things at once. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. And so part of the shock is because it's a betrayal of what you thought the relationship was.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
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 I remember when, like, I forget what day, my memory time. We can have a laugh. I left you a voice note saying, I've had a cry, I'm having trouble sleeping, but most importantly, how are you? And it was that short. I wasn't asking you to take care of me. I wasn't asking you to explain anything to me. And I centered you.
I want the audience to know that in a situation of catastrophe, the people for me who I feel closest to and safest with, because we use that language a lot in our society, and it's like, well, what does that mean, safe? it means that my experience doesn't get invalidated or overridden by somebody else's experience. And when you're talking about an interracial relationship like the one we have, where those power dynamics, we're aware of experiences that one another has dealt with and all that, we try to center the other person. And in that context, the more immediate person at risk is me. ICE is in Brooklyn and Queens. They're here as they've been rolling out heavy artillery in Minnesota and in Maine and distracting us. They have come here and they're undercover and they're targeting subways. And now, in another thing I have to deal with when I just want to leave the house and buy groceries, which I fucking will, and then maybe not. we'll figure it out.
It's a day-by-day decision.
Day-by-day decision. But do you see, let's be real, let's pull the curtain back. I get to talk to Shoshana about that day to day, about calculating the reality of my personal safety and risk, about being accosted, harassed at the very least, frightened to death, whatever that is, which is just a way to dehumanize. You don't have rights. We have the power. That's all that is. That's what I am talking to one of my closest friends about, because I don't have to hide my experience or make her feel okay by sanitizing it.
Right.
And that's what I mean by safe. And when we change hands, when the intersectionality matryoshka or the container layers switch up, and I get to be her ally in, if I'm fighting anti-Semitism, if I'm talking about visibility for people with disabilities, if I'm talking about people for having rights for chronic issues that are invisible, right? Like all that, then it is my responsibility to go, yeah, I'm feeling stressed too, but I need to know where you're at and how to show up for you, because you are going to be more immediately at risk here than I am. That's just decent human relating. That to us is just like basics. Right.
And that really raises something that we really want to talk about here.
Yeah.
Is that is being a grown-up. That is owning your stuff. It's like, I'm upset, but I'm going to be contained with this. I'm not going to vomit it all over you to make you take care of me when you are the one who is more vulnerable in this. And owning my shit is part of my responsibility as your friend. And it requires me to be able to name my feelings, be in my body, and hold myself together enough to genuinely show up, not make some kind of show at showing up, like, oh, and by the way, how are you? You're more important. How are you? In the middle of your trying to say, and right? Because I have a friend like that. I only see her once a year.
Yeah, you're like, it's okay.
Right. So the Venn diagram of emotional maturity and being a grown-ass grown-up and being an ally and an anti-racist and an anti-misogynist and all that stuff is 100% overlap Venn diagram.
Yep. Yes, that is why we're telling people all the time, if you want to fight the racists and the fascists, continue your self-development work.
Right.
And gosh, what I'm thinking of right now is when you and I have these conversations, or when I have conversations with friends in other war-torn countries who are going through immediate risk because of loss of resources or bombings, it's not awkward. And I think that's the thing that people don't know how to really handle. There's like an awkwardness in being like, it's like what people in the United States often say. I don't know about other countries, but people in the United States are like, I don't know what to do when someone's died. I don't know how to handle grief, which blows my mind, because I'm like, do you know how many people have already done that? Like, are you what? Okay, fine, whatever. That's another podcast, but like,
that's another episode.
It's a whole other thing. But there's no awkwardness between me and Shoshana, because we feel okay to show the distress we feel on the other person's behalf. Like when Shoshana texts me or calls me and leaves me a voice note and is like, I'm so fucking sad about Minnesota and I'm so worried about you. I need to know how you are. I need to know your concern. we don't shy away from, I feel her sincere care for me because it's in her voice. I can feel that she's going through it in the way that sometimes I'll call her and be like, I'm thinking about you. I have these things going on in my life, but what's preoccupying me and what I'm feeling in my system are my thoughts of you and what I need for your well-being. That's authentic. That's not pretending. That's not awkward. That's just authentic. That's just like, you're going through some shit. I don't know what that's like, but I'd like to be close to you while you go through it. So let me just hear what you're dealing with, and then you'll tell me how I can show up. That's it.
Yep. Being a friend, a genuine friend.
Genuine friend. Is your cat meowing?
My cat is meowing. Would you like me to let the cat in? Let me let the cat in. Because he's already participating.
I was like...
Ooh, stretchy big boy. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to kick you in the
He's like, oh my God, I just walked in here and already you're assaulting me. Like, I just love the cat was like, and this is such a great reminder of there are other things going on all the time. And other people have other experiences all the time, regardless of what you're obsessing about in the moment. Baby, we heard you. Sorry. Well, thank you, Shoshana, and thank you for the kitty love.
Cousin, yeah.
We needed that. Thank you for being my friend and trusted ally in all the places I feel vulnerable.
I love you completely. So, of course, I'm going to show up. And I think I've said it in other podcasts. We're not friends because I do the work. No, sorry, I said that wrong. I don't do the work because we're friends. Mm-hmm. It's not like, well, I have a black friend, so now I have to read up on stuff.
Your white voice avatars today are just, they are lit. Like, damn.
I have some feelings. We're friends because I've done the work before we met.
Right. And that's it.
And I still do.
I would like for white people to hear this from me one more time. That work doesn't mean you have to know the entire history, because I don't know the history of all Jews or all Gujarati people or all blank whatever's in my life or a trans person or a gay person. Like, I don't have to have the history to understand how to meet someone in their humanity by simply allowing them to have their experience without questioning it, or if I have questions, investigating that without putting them through it. Just simply being there, and then I can go do my own investigation. That's right. What we're talking about. That's it. That's all it takes. That's it, guys. Use it. Use your superpowers. Use your adulting. Use your empathy. Center each other.
I love that. Use your adulting. Use your empathy. That's another tote bag.
It's another tote bag. All right, guys. The Etsy shop is coming. Just give us another year. Thank you, Shoshana.
Thank you. And thank you, audience. Come back again.
Thank you. There'll be more cats. More kitty surprises.
Bye. Bye.
He's like, get away.